Hello, magical human. Welcome back to Madison Mindset, the podcast. This is the final episode in our elemental healing series. And I thought it would be very appropriate to get the sky in here as we are looking at space. Okay, I'm sitting outside, feet on the ground, and I thought about going inside to record, and I just went, nah, I want to be outside. So here we are. I hope the lighting is okay. I shall find out when I go to edit this. But yeah, anyway, outside is good. Sky is beautiful. Hopefully we'll see some birds and things fly across. I always love seeing that on the screen. Yeah, so we're at the final element, space element. So I want to remind you that, listening to the other episodes first is definitely going to be a good idea because it gives us the opportunity to understand the elemental series from the ground up. So from earth, water, fire, air, space. So it gives you a little bit of understanding of where we started and where we're going. Okay, so if you can listen to the first 4 before you listen to this one, that would be great. Unless you're coming back for a refresher or you're specifically interested in the space element, I would listen to the other ones first. As a reminder, you can go deeper in all of these elements with me on Patreon. Okay, you can go and check out Madison Mindset on Patreon. The link is in the show notes below. You can go and check that out, and we dive deeper into each of these elements. We do the practices, we do the journaling prompts, we do it all. I teach you how to really respond to these elements. Because remember the reason we're here. We are here doing this series because you are the elements. You are made up. You are an earthly spiritual being. You are made up of it all. Okay? So in order to balance yourself and balance your own health, you need to balance the elements within you. Hello, magical human, and welcome to Madison Mindset, the podcast. My name is Madison. I'm a yoga teacher, a mindset and spirituality coach, and a complete earth fairy. I see a world that is peaceful and easy to live in. Humans that are awakened and enlightened towards who they are and what life truly is and why we are here. I understand life can be really hard. I've had a huge journey with anxiety myself. I understand what it's like to feel overwhelmed, overworked, stressed, and frustrated within this earth. It is this journey that led me to begin my own growth journey. And it is only through those struggles that I was able to birth this podcast so that you can have the tools and techniques and knowledge to help you step forward and be a being of light. A magical, earthly being who is grounded, supported, who takes on challenges with love and embraces the lessons that each day brings. You are that being. I am here to walk you there. You will find many different kinds of episodes through this podcast. All are created in the moment and with love for you. Find the one you need for this moment and enjoy. Take a moment for yourself. Sit down with your journal and tune in. Welcome. Let's begin. Okay, so for a quick refresher, remember with our earth element, we're looking at the physical body, we're looking at what we eat, how we take care of the body, how we're sleeping, all of those kind of things. We're looking at our groundedness, our earthing, our connection to the planet, to maintain physical health. Water element, we're looking at emotions, hydration, how we're cleansing and letting go of the experiences and the emotions that may be stored within the body. Fire element, we're looking at our identity, our ego, our passion, our action in this world, what we're creating, our intention, and about the digestive system as well. So that is included in there. Then we go into the air element, which is about your communication, your speech, your relationships, your expression, your creativity. Now we're getting into space, which is where we start to look into the part of you that makes you a spiritual being, that makes you a conscious being. So you are consciousness inside a human body, earth-made body. Okay, so when we look at the space element, things that we're looking towards in chakra terms are third eye and crown chakra. Third eye is about intuition, so receiving knowledge or some kind of feeling, sensation, awareness from third eye. So it's nothing that you have potentially, it's nothing you've seen on the physical plane. It's nothing you've touched on the physical plane. It's nothing that you've been told or been informed about or learnt or heard. It's more an intuitive knowing, a download. And the easiest way to describe this is maybe your first impression of someone. Maybe you haven't had anything go wrong with them. They have been perfectly nice to you. There's nothing wrong, but for some reason you get a weird feeling that it's not a good fit or whatever it is. That's an intuitive download. Okay, or maybe I should turn left instead of right today. Just simple things like that. It's your inner guidance system that kind of helps point you towards the right direction. Also, gut feeling comes up here as well. A lot of people refer to it as their gut feeling. I just have a gut feeling that something's off, or I should go this way, or I should try this, or whatever. Okay. Then, crown. Crown chakra is about enlightenment. It's our Kundalini awakening. So we're awakening from the root chakra all the way to the crown of the head. And we're awakening as a spiritual being, as a divine being, as a conscious being. So we're coming out of our ego, our suffering, our misery, our wanting and attachments and desires and our triggers and all of the stuff. We're coming out of all of it and becoming an enlightened being. And basically, people call it enlightenment, people call it awakening, people call it these different words. All of it is kind of referring to being now conscious. You are aware of what you are, okay? If we get lost and we forget about the space element or these higher chakras, we often take massive importance about what our physical body looks like. Is the physical body well? Oh no, it's not well. Is it well? Oh, it's such a stressful time. We take huge importance about what people think about us, how well we're doing in life, how much money we have, how other people view us on a certain scale. We take massive importance on little small things that just don't matter, okay? And we get very worked up over everything that's happening in life, and we get stuck in society and expectations and all this stuff. We try and make something of ourselves, and then we get to the end of our life or retirement, or we start losing people in our life, and it starts to make you have the question of why. What was the point? Why did I bother? Okay, so your consciousness, the best way to kind of point out where your consciousness is, if you have not experienced consciousness, if you haven't done a lot of meditation or contemplation or any kind of work like this, you may not know what I'm talking about. You may know what I'm on about, but if not, or even if you do, it's a good way to describe it. If you imagine the part of yourself that has been observing this life since the moment you were born, okay, the part of you that has not changed since before you can remember, since when you were a kid, the part of you that has always been the same. Can you identify that part of you? All right, it's just an observer, a layer of consciousness, just watching. That part of you that doesn't change from when you're a kid all the way up until before you die. It doesn't change. It's consciousness, awareness. That's what it is. Consciousness, awareness, a part of whatever you want to call it. You can really bring in religion here if you want to. I mean, we all have spirituality because you are, in essence, a physical being, but you are more than that, right? You are a conscious being, a being that has a drop of consciousness, of universal consciousness, of divine intelligence, the intelligence of life within you. And that's the part of you that doesn't age, that doesn't change, that potentially has more than just one life. So you can go quite deep here and you can see that. And, I want to honor, whatever beliefs you have, whatever religion you choose to be a part of, whatever it is, you can slot in your beliefs here. Okay. We're all talking about the same thing. All right. We're all talking about the same thing. Whether you want to call it life, universe, a particular god or goddess, whatever religion you'd like to bring in here, you're welcome to do that, okay? The thing that I'm pointing to is your spirituality, your connection to something more than yourself, okay? So your oneness, I've heard, teachings of before, different quotes of things saying like you are a drop in the universal ocean of consciousness. So if you think of all of us, all of consciousness being the ocean, you have a drop of that ocean inside you. And when you die, it simply goes back to that ocean. Okay? So this is why you hear many different spiritual practices that are thousands of years old, focusing on enlightenment, awakening, spiritual awakening, consciousness, becoming conscious. Okay? And the practices that are really important here is meditation. Okay, so I come at this from a yoga perspective and a Buddhist perspective. I very much value the Buddhist philosophy and I listen to a lot of different talks by different monks. Okay, so that's my perspective on it. I'll often refer to the divine intelligence of life as life or Mother Nature or the universe. Whatever you'd like to refer to it as, it's completely fine. Everyone is welcome here. Everyone's welcome in this space. Whatever you need to refer to it as is perfect. Okay, so this is what we're talking about here. And crown chakra is all about your connection to higher space. So your root chakra has a light that shines down into the earth, which is your connection to the earth, your physical body. And crown chakra has a light that shoots up into space. Okay, that is your connection to the universe. Okay, so this is what makes you a bridge in between the earth. You are part earth, part spiritual being. You are both, right? And when you align the chakras, this process becomes very open, very clear. When your spine is long, when the chakras are balanced, when the elements are balanced, not only will you feel grounded and supported as a physical being, but you'll also feel connected and at peace and with your oneness about the higher realms, okay? So why is space element so important for your healing? Why is this recognition of oneness, recognition of consciousness and awakening, why is it such a big deal? Well, the one purpose we all seem to have on this earth, you can give yourself a lifetime purpose, goal, desire, meaning, whatever you want to call it. But the one purpose we all share is to awaken as human beings, to awaken to who you really are, to what we really are, to what the meaning of life really is. And it's often that people find this meaning of life through challenging times or through the process of death or whatever it is. This episode is, coming to you a little bit late because I've recently just lost my grandfather and I've been with my family and, watching him go through that process. So it's about, the journey between birth and death. What is the point? Awakening. You go through this journey of life of thinking money is so important. What I look like physically is so important. Having the perfect life, the perfect house, the perfect car, it's all so important. And it all seems so important. When you start to develop this consciousness and this connection to oneness, you realize that none of that matters. And you look at the present moment. You look to nature. Nature is a great physical teacher for us. You look to the great teachers of the world and you feel within yourself the peace, the joy, the genuine joy, the unconditional love and contentment that is inside each and every moment. Each and every moment, you realize what's there. Peace. Why is this important to physical health, to healing in general? Because if you're not aware of consciousness, if you're not working to find inner peace, you'll be in this cycle of stress, worry. I've got to have everything perfect. I've got to be perfectly beautiful or handsome. I've got to have this and that. And life's supposed to go this way, not that way. And you're always battling with life and battling with people. And it's not fair. Why me? You get into this victim stance. You build up your ego. And that is a gateway to suffering. 100%. We all know that you get what you want, and what you get is often very different. And sometimes when you're challenged in life, sometimes you can fix it, sometimes you can't. So finding peace in this world is the most important thing, and is the common purpose that all of us share in this world. Okay? If you can find inner peace, presence, contentment, and ease, your body will be under less stress, which means you'll be healthier because there's less stress. Less, I need to be perfect, I need to be this, I need to be that. There'll be more peace. So you will be healthier mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So we're going to go through few things that really come up with the space element and the things that you do to align yourself with the space element. And the first one is meditation. Okay, so meditation is the process of remembering. It is a process of getting beyond your mind, getting beyond your ego, getting beyond the physical body and realizing what's there. And a lot of people understand that that's the point of meditation, but you don't actually know what it's like or feel it because you've never actually experienced it or practiced deeply. Okay, so the meditation I'm talking about is meditation in silence, complete stillness, and with a simple focus on the breath. Very simple, low-key meditation. It is harder than guided meditations and meditations where you get to listen to music or, prompts or whatever it is. Because this is meditation where you get to sit in silence with your mind. And we so rarely get this privilege in such a busy world. So meditation is your key to start to connect to your intuition, third eye, and to develop this connection, this knowing with the crown chakra, with your consciousness. You will experience it through practice. Okay, it's not something you can just flick a switch and do it. That's not how it works. Okay, you have to spend time in meditation, spend time working on peace, silence, contentment, and eventually, once you've created the right condition, then you'll experience it. You have to create the right condition to experience this inner peace, inner stillness. Okay, so I recommend practicing that way. Remembering you can always leave a comment and I'll reply to you. If you're on Spotify, I'll always reply. Send me an email. If you need guidance on, you have any questions. But highly recommend that. If you're on Patreon, you'll be getting more information about meditation, and there will also be a meditation practice going up that can guide you in this way. So highly recommend going to check that out and learning how to meditate in this way for your own benefit. The next thing is realization of spiritual connection. So spending time with the miracle that is life, not focusing so much. We plan to go to the gym, we plan to get a massage, we plan to go to work. When do you plan to just sit with the magic that is existence? To sit and observe the sky, or to observe a tree, or to, maybe it's doing oracle card work or pendulum work and intuitive, moments of listening to the body, listening to life. How often do you gift yourself that time to just be? Okay, come back. We've got to spend time with the earth, as I mentioned in the earth element, but you've also got to spend time with life, the miracle that is your life. How unlikely it is that you're here today as you are. To give thanks to that, to look at the stars and realize how small you are and how precious it is. To get some perspective, you've got to spend time connecting with your spiritual self. You do, because you're not just physical. And if you focus only on the physical, it's going to feel like trying to pick up one half of a coin. You can't do it. You've got to have both sides. Okay, so again, on the Patreon, we'll go a bit deeper into how you can do this and really spend time and creating time for spiritual connection. The next one is contemplation. Contemplation is very much getting into Buddhism and the 8 limbs of yoga. And in Patreon, we'll go over the final 3 limbs of yoga because this is where it's really pointing at. But basically, you can do this in meditation. So contemplation is the idea of contemplating your life. Sitting around, in meditation or just by yourself in nature with no music, no podcast, no stimulation, just sit by yourself and contemplate your life. Ask yourself, why am I here? Why is life here? You could read, books on Buddhism, on yoga. There are some great ones to start with. I'll recommend 3 or 4 below in the show notes. But doing, self-study. Be curious. Contemplate. Why am I here? Think about it. Don't just live your life moment to moment, just doing your thing. We're not here for as long as you might like. It's time to wonder, what am I doing here? Contemplate it. Don't wait until your deathbed to contemplate what was the point of life. Contemplate it now. That will help you. It will help you, give you direction, clarity. It'll help you understand why you're here. It'll help you go through your life. Why am I put on this earth? It will benefit your relationships, your family, your work, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with all of life. It'll help. You have to contemplate and try and understand why we're here. The next is understanding universal oneness. Okay, understand that you are not separate from anything or anyone. A lot of us pedestal ourselves like no one understands, my life's the hardest, no one gets me, I'm all alone. Or it's I'm better than everyone else, and we pedestal ourselves. It's a lonely place to be. Come back to oneness. Your life affects everyone else's life. Your words, your self-work, your presence here means something, no matter who you are. So come back to oneness. We're in it together. We're here together, living together. Understand that we are one. You are not separate. You are a drop in the ocean. And it's very lonely to be a drop sitting on a pedestal. Join the ocean. Final thing is oneness. Om. The sacred sound Om, the mantra. O-M or A-U-M. Om. Om is said to be the sound of creation. Om itself is very calming to chant and to listen to, even to silently chant in your head with meditation. If you've ever been in a yoga class or done any kind of class where you chant Om together, you notice the power of it. When you're chanting Om, there's nothing else you can think about. You're just focusing on that sound, right? And when you chant it, it vibrates through your whole body. You feel it right in your heart space. And if it's the sound of creation, the sound of peace, it's literally like vibrating peace and life inside your body, which is why it feels so beautiful to chant. It's also been shown that chanting Om as well as humming, so Om at the end, has been shown to balance your nervous system. So it is naturally very peaceful. It also has similar benefits to having a cold shower, right? We have cold showers for health benefits, yeah? Chanting Om has the same benefit, which is awesome, right? Really good news for those of us living in colder climates, right? So chanting Om. We're going to chant Om together. You can do it in your head or out loud, but I recommend you give it a try. There are 2 versions of Om, and it's often debated which one's the correct one. But a recent explanation I heard of it was that AUM is more activating, so good for the start of the day, good for a yoga class. OM is very calming. So when you look up Om on Spotify or anything like that, there will be different pronunciations depending on the purpose. So, yeah, Om as OM is simply long Om. Slowly close the lips until it turns into mm. We'll do one of those together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Hey, Billy. See, she loves Om too. She's like, oh, I want to Om as well. Excuse me. Sorry, if you're listening to the audio of this, I've just got dogs in the camera. The last one, AUM. This is more activating. We're going to start with ah. So just an A sound. As you close the lips, it'll go ah into a U, and then you bring the lips together to make a hmm. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Notice how calming that is just with 2. In the Patreon, we'll be doing about 10 or so together, just to let it be normal. It's a beautiful thing to chant out loud or in your mind, or find a song with Om. If you look up Om, OM on Spotify, you'll find it. There's heaps of beautiful variations. I'll put my favorite in the show notes. It's from Meditative Mind. Such a good song. It goes for like an hour or half an hour. I don't know. It's a long time though. So it's really good. Highly recommend that. Yeah, and then again, another reminder to jump onto Patreon. Come support me over there. I am so grateful for everyone, each and every one of you who listen to this podcast. You know, this is my 4th year podcasting and I love it so much, and I have absolutely no intention of ever stopping because I love it with all my heart. And the Patreon is a way for me to work closer with you and to make it a job for myself, which is an absolute dream come true. So everyone who's subscribed over there, thank you so, so much. I hope to one day thank you in person and travel around the world and be able to see you. And yeah, that's just my dream, my vision. So I very much appreciate everyone who hops over there and either subscribing to the podcast as a podcast subscription or jumping on for the coaching and yoga classes that I'm doing weekly. I'm always very grateful. So thank you for supporting me. And if you'd like to check it out or even just follow my Patreon, you can go down below and the link will be in the show notes. Thank you for being here, Magical Human. Please leave a comment or a rating, share this with a friend. And yeah, let's go back. Let's listen to all the elements together and start to understand how putting them all together can create such a beautiful healing, self-healing, natural healing process for you. And I hope you use it. I hope you use it and use it well. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next episode. Love.